So today we are going to do the weekly reader that has the giraffe in the front. And it says, would you munch a plant for lunch? I think you have this weekly reader, so you can go get it and you can do it with me. Animals think plants are yummy. What part of the plant is the giraffe eating? What part of the plant is the giraffe eating right there? The branch, the leaves, huh? Yes, he is. And giraffes like to eat the top of trees because they can reach them, huh? They can reach the top of the trees. Or we can't, right? Unless we climb the tree, but that's not always safe. So, it says, munch, munch, plant parts for lunch. Is that what you plan on having today for lunch, is plants? Let's see. Munch, munch, plant parts for lunch. This panda eats a stem. Do you know what kind of stem pandas love to eat? If you go see pandas at the zoo, or if you see pandas out in the wild where they live, you will see them in a bamboo tree. That's the kind of stem that they like. Munch, munch, plant parts for lunch. This donkey eats a root. The root is the part of the plant that goes under the ground. It goes in the dirt and it helps to keep, it's kind of like its legs, it helps to keep the plant up and growing. Munch, munch, plant parts for lunch. This koala eats a leaf. Just like the pandas, how you see them in eating bamboo a lot and hanging out in the bamboo trees, you will see pandas in a eucalyptus tree all the time. So if you see eucalyptus trees, look for the koalas. You'll see koalas in a eucalyptus tree. Now, we don't see them out in the wild here, but they are out in the wild in other countries like Australia or, once again, at our zoos. But you know what? Whenever I saw them at the zoo, the koala was always sleeping. I think they sleep a lot. Now, munch, munch, plant parts for lunch. This rabbit eats a flower. Now, rabbits, as we see in this picture, this rabbit is eating a flower. But we know from the rabbits that are around our houses that rabbits like to eat anything. Rabbits will eat anything in our gardens. I don't know if they should do that. Do you? Now, over here is, Miss Emily's favorite flower, which is a sunflower. And we're going to name the parts of the flower. Let's see if we can do that. So this part right here that they're pointing to is either the stem, the leaf, the flower, or the root. So what part is this up here? Is it the stem, the leaf, the root, or the flower? That's right. It is the flower. So we're going to write the word flower. Flower. Now this one right here, they're pointing to this green part right here. Is this the stem, the root, or the leaf? That's right. It is the leaf. So let's write L-E-A-F. Okay. Now, down here, they're kind of pointing to the straight part right here, the part that the leaves are growing out of. Would that be the stem or the root? Because those are the only two we have left. So do you think this is the stem or the root? Stem. Yes. S-T-E-M. Now, the only part we have at the bottom is the parts that I said earlier that grow under the ground, right? The parts parts that the donkey ate. The donkey eats the root. R-O-O-T. The root. Okay. Now we are going to go to the back. Okay. Now the back looks like a graph, right? So we're going to do a graph. It says graph the garden. Okay, scoot. Count the vegetables growing in the garden. Color the graph to show how many there are of each. You can also do this if you have vegetables growing in your garden at home. You can graph what is growing. Let's see. I see 3 carrots, 1, 2, 3, 4 strawberries, and look, see, there's a rabbit in there, I told you. And I see a worm. Oh, and there's a butterfly. And I see 3 heads of lettuce and 2 radishes and a watering can. So for the lettuce, we need to color in the graph to see how many lettuce heads we saw up on top. We see 1, 2, 3. So we need to color the 3. Actually, you color up to the 3. If it's a graph, you gotta do this. There. Now, the next one is the carrots. Now, if you notice, the carrots are the only ones in this garden that grow underground, right? The carrots you don't see on top of the ground like you see the tomatoes and the lettuce. I guess, and the radishes grow underground too, but they're more on top. So the carrots and the radishes grow under the ground. Now, there are other vegetables that grow underground, like potatoes too. They grow under the ground. So the next one is carrots. How many carrots do we see? 1, 2, 3. Just like the lettuce. So we're going to color the graph to go up to the 3. That's how we know there's 3. Now the next one is tomatoes. Now tomatoes grow on top of the ground. They grow in a tomato plant. And we're going to see how many tomatoes there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to color the graph all the way up to the 4. Okay. Now the radishes. The radishes that grow under the ground with their buddy, the carrots. Let's see how many radishes there are. 1, 2. 2. So now we're going to look at the graph and which one has the most? Which one has the most in this garden? The one with the 2 with the 3, or the one with the 4, or the one with the 2? That's right, the tomatoes. There's more tomatoes. And the one that has the least is the radishes. Now for your lunch today, maybe you can try one of these if you have one of these at home. You might have lettuce for salad and radishes for salad. You might have carrots for a snack. Or you might have tomatoes for a snack. Or you can put tomatoes on other things too. Like a salad or a sandwich or tacos. Right? Try a vegetable. Yummy!